Right, I'm back in my sort of officey area again, and here on the floor you will find some paperwork that I was working on 2 days ago. It's to be sorted out. The cards underneath and the paper are notes from my novel that I need to tidy up and put in some form of order. I had been working on them and I actually dropped the notes, and so they're all out of order again, so I need to sort them out. The thing on top, the purple little folder, is my journal that I keep for doing chores in the house, which I need to sort out as well. I'm going to start a new one for January, I think, as a fresh start for then, so I've kind of got that there just to kind of sort it out. This is my desk. The computer is open because I'm going to write a short story. I haven't written anything for the last couple of weeks and I have a short story hammering at my head, so I thought I might as well write it down. I don't really want to write short story because I want to concentrate more on finishing the novel, but I just am not getting around to that, so I thought it's better to write something than nothing, so I'm going to write this short story. The things on top, receipts that I need to sort out, and these are pieces of wood that I have painted with an aim to getting some Christmas decorations ready. Here is one that I've started. Not decorations, sorry, gifts. I mean, they're for this is one for my granddaughter. It's kind of to put in front of her on her door. I'm going to have something on the other side of it as well. Some Christmas cards that I need to write. My cup of coffee just prepared because I'm going to sit down and write the short story now. Santi, who's fine because it's Christmas. Some birthday cards I got from, what was it now, last week that I need to move away. Christmas tree, which the lights aren't on yet. Some candles that I need to do something with. They've just been plonked there, and so has that cable, so that's a little tidying up that needs to be done. And I'm going to take you in here. I need to light the fire today, clean it out and light the fire. And then I need to fill this box with logs. I need to do something. I haven't even opened that bag there with, I don't know, Christmas bits in it. I must find out what's in there. Cushion, I need to tidy up the pillows. There's books over there I need to put in the book place. Footstool doesn't belong there, and the little table needs to be tidied up. And behind here, more projects. This is a project my partner and I are working on. We're building a bed for my grandson, and we're also building a kind of a shelving unit with the back for the TV to hang up on and for his Xbox and stuff. So this wood is here laying flat so it doesn't get warped, and I'm hoping this will be kind of finished by the end of the week. These are some cupboards, the background there, that are going to be thrown out, which are going to be put down probably in the shed for the time being until we can figure out what to do with them. Hello there, and welcome to my channel. I filmed that little piece a couple of days ago, and the reason I did it was I was a little bit overwhelmed. To be honest, it wasn't a huge amount of work. It just seemed I didn't know where to start. I just got myself in a bit of a kerfuffle about it, really. And where I did start was I started actually writing, and I wrote a short story. And once I had actually got started, I was able to gain momentum and get quite a lot of it done anyway. I tidied up the desk here and I tidied up the floor. I actually got a bit of a good idea. It entered my head about how I'm organising my novel, because the thing is, I have never written a novel before. I've written lots of short stories, but not a novel. Although I have a first draft done, I've edited the first few chapters quite a few times. I keep stopping and going back again, and I don't get to the end because I find it really hard to keep it all together and keep it all going. It's a bit like I have all the ingredients, but I'm not sure how to mix it. So when I was looking at what I did the other day, the bits of paper that are in the ground, I printed off the first few chapters. I think it was 4 chapters, and I decided I was going to edit 4 at a time. And I was kind of carrying them around with me. If I was going to be somewhere in the car and waiting for somebody for 20 minutes, I'd bring them with me and I'd have my notes and everything. And that's why it ended up in a mess, because I ended up I was carrying too much and I dropped them, so they were all a bit all over the place. And it made me realise that what I was doing really wasn't as efficient. I was kind of fooling myself, and it felt again overwhelming. And what was happening, when it feels overwhelming, I don't want to do it. So what I've come up with the idea of is I've broken it down into chapters. I thought just do a chapter at a time. But even within the chapters, what I'm going to do is when I have a chapter, I'm going to keep it in a folder. And I'm going to have little sticky things to the side, so I kind of do a page at a time. Because where I'm at the moment is I'm trying to break down each chapter into kind of brief synopsis, so that I'll kind of find it easier to keep track of things. So basically I'm just taking it as I'm learning. That's a new thing that I've learned, is to break down even more for myself, so I'm going to do that and make brief notes on each chapter, so that then I'm hoping to kind of have a visual board of each of the cards I make, so that I can look at a glance where the flow of the whole story is going, and then see areas that I need to kind of jiggle about with. I mean, even in the first 4 chapters, there's one that's kind of a couple of pages, and I actually think I won't even put it in there, or I might end up taking it out and putting it somewhere else. So that's about that little pile there that I had. And I think the little piles are symbolic of my life, because I was sitting there thinking, I don't know what to do with that. And then, as I said, I filmed that little piece. That was a few days ago, and then I kind of got on with things, and I managed to get things done. And I go from one thing to another, not necessarily in a kind of a coherent manner, but I get things done. And I don't work methodically. I've tried, because people can criticize my work sometimes, because I'm the type of person that I could be in here and I could have the vacuum cleaner out and then leave it in the middle of the floor and go off and start tidying the desk here, and then have to put something in the bathroom and go up and end up cleaning the bathroom, and then come back down, finish the desk, and take something to the kitchen and go in and wash up, and then come back out, and the Hoover's still sitting here. But I eventually get it done, and I actually find it works for me. It might annoy other people that are falling over the Hoover, or you know, that kind of see it and they're methodical. They might start the hoovering and do the hoovering, the whole thing, which I do sometimes. But there's certain days in my life where I actually feel like I'm kind of flitting from one thing to another, and I don't mind it, because sometimes by flitting it's almost like a break, and then I tend to get more done. So that's the way I work in terms of possibly housework, but also in terms of this channel, which I started just to see if I could do it, because I've been watching YouTubers and it's really fascinating, and I've learned so much from YouTube. It's just, I think it's fantastic. You know, if you pick and choose what you're interested in, it's just really great. And the ordinary people that are putting themselves out there, and they're really sharing how they're getting on in their lives, and they're inspiring. And I pick and choose, you know, little bits from everybody. Not everybody, from the ones I like or whatever, and I pick and choose what I like to introduce into my life and things like that. So I started this channel because I thought, well, actually maybe I'll contribute to some things and maybe, you know, get feedback and whatever. And I know it's really hard to set up a YouTube channel. I'm not under the illusion that, you know, 100 people or 1,000 people are going to watch my little recordings over time, or that people are going to even come in and say we'll stay for a while. I don't know, but I've almost found it like therapeutic for myself, that I kind of come on here and rattle off whatever's in my brain at the time. I've practiced editing, which I think hopefully will help me with my writing as well. It's kept me a little bit accountable as well, and it's also made me think about how intentional am I, because I'm flitting from one thing to another and I'm not sure what it is I really want. So perhaps I should rename it as attempting to intentionally create my life, because I think that's a lot more accurate. And I'm learning along the way, and one of the things I learned in the last 2 weeks, which I'm finding fascinating, was from a
another YouTuber, Erica Lucas. She was talking about how she plans the year, and she was journaling, and I got really interested in this because I keep a diary all the time. We'll have about the last 7 years, but it's after the fact, and the diary was more to get everything in my head to do with the days on the paper. It's never been a really for planning, and I've done the usual things planning, which is lists and everything. I've done mind maps a little bit when I had to try and study, but the idea of journaling, I've looked into it since then. It's really fascinating. So I was a bit bad and I went and ordered myself a new notebook and new pens, because why not? I treated myself for Christmas, and I'm looking forward to that. But it's made me think about what are my goals. I know every single year I set myself some resolutions, and the questions I'm going to ask myself when I'm planning, because I'm looking forward to when my new journal arrives with all the dots in it, that I can start planning and making headings. But I've been thinking about how I'm going to organise that, and I think the areas I'm going to be looking into at the moment are, no particular order, gardening, YouTubes, that is in filming. I was only going to do, this was going to be my last one. I thought I'll do it up till Christmas, but my partner heard me complaining that it was difficult on the phone and it was difficult to edit, etc. And bless his cotton socks, he's went and bought me a camera, because he didn't know my intention was only to do it up until Christmas. So I feel that's like the universe telling me maybe give it another go and try it for a while. So I'm going to do that because it's actually quite pleasant to do. And as I said, I'm learning from it. So gardening, YouTube channels, health. I'm not going to put down exercise. I'm going to put down health, because I know that involves exercise. But a few videos back I put myself in a position where I was going to try and have a walk every day, even a short walk. That actually hasn't happened for the last 2 weeks because my knee has been swollen. I've osteoarthritis, and my knee has been swollen quite badly, and every time I walk for any distance at all, it got more so I've actually been resting it up when I can. So I'm just going to put it down as health, and that's going to include brackets such as exercise, walking, yoga. If the local swimming pool would open properly, I might go back to swimming. That would be really good, but we don't know at the moment or what the plans are for next year. My home would be another one. Family, to really focus on what I want for family, keeping in touch with people, supporting my children, seeing my grandchildren, and then I'm going to do one for myself, which is going to be like an overall thing of a brain dump. I never knew that word before. I'm going to do a brain dump on what I want for myself. Again, I learned that from Erica Lucas and subsequently looked up other YouTubers, and I've even ordered a book on how to journal. Then I'm also going to look at means of relaxing, how I can actually relax, because yesterday I had a day off. I ended up not feeling 100%. I get migraines and sometimes my stomach's not great, and yesterday was one of those days, unfortunately. But I'd actually planned on doing nothing in particular with that day, which is unusual because usually when I have a day off I'm planning, I'll do this and I'll catch up, and I'd one off last week I think, and it was all about catching up on chores and jobs and things that had got a bit out of control. So I'm going to be looking at an area of relaxation. Another area is going to be projects, because we have some projects ahead of us. The bed we were finishing for my grandson, my partner actually finished it by himself. I wasn't feeling great this week, so I ended up kind of saying to him, you mind, and he got somebody else to give him a hand with heavier things because I just didn't feel well. So that's done, but I know there'll be things coming up in the year. So I'm going to try and organise it in such a way that it won't get pressurised for either of us, because he works very hard as well, and I don't want every evening or every weekend taken up with working. So projects is going to be another heading. And crafts. Here is a couple of things I was telling you I'm going to make for my grandchildren for their bedroom doors. Can you see that there okay? This is for my grandson who's 14. It's on one side and that's on the other side. He's 14. I'm going to put little hooks either side here, and then some string, and give them a little stick-on peg so they'll be able to hang it on their door and they can choose which side to have it at. This one is for my granddaughter who's 13. It says tips on how to enter, and underneath it says number 1, do not. And on the other side, I'm going to read this and then turn around to show you. It says, I say if I'm beautiful, I say if I'm strong. You will not determine my story, I will. So that's that. And here it says, this is from my nephew who's a mad gamer, and it says you can't just pause a game. There it is with a little emoji. And on the other side it says, do not disturb, I am gaming. I like the colours in this set. And this is for my granddaughter who's 11. And this says girls only, because she has the brother who's 14, and there's often arguments about people entering each other's rooms. And on the other side it says, my room was clean, then I had to decide what to wear. And that is because she can be a little bit of a diva when it comes to the clothes. And she's brilliant for helping, and she's a great worker when she wants to, but she has a problem with keeping her room tidy, like all children. And this is for my youngest daughter. It says, I'm in here, you're out there, let's keep it that way. Ta-da! I think she'll like that kind of sense of humour. And on the other side it says, welcome, please leave. Ta-da! They're all done in humour, and I think they'll find them amusing. So that's my other area. So my planning for next year is journaling. Like, I need another hobby, but I enjoy doing it, and I'm actually enjoying the little trying to draw. I've always been told at school that I wasn't any good at drawing, or my sister was very good at drawing, and I suppose maybe I wasn't told I wasn't good, but the perception in my head when everybody admired her drawings, and I knew myself mine were not good, I couldn't do anything. My handwriting was awful. So with the journaling, I'm going to try my hand at calligraphy, and I'm going to try my hand at drawing, because now, thanks to the internet, there is so much information out there about doing little doodles and little things, that I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to teach myself how to do some more journaling. So, one more thing to show you. This is a shopping list. It's I wrote all the things that I buy normally in Paint. I've done these little sections. This is written in chalk so that I can write down just briefly what we're having for the day. A little note section there that we can write in anything we've forgotten for the week. And I'm going to put this up on my wall in the kitchen, because although I have had paper up and a pen, people don't really take the time to write down what's missing. So this way they just have to have a piece of chalk and give a little tick next to something, and then I know we'll need that when I'm shopping. So to sum it up, it's been very interesting doing YouTube videos. I'm going to continue for a little while after Christmas and see how that goes. If I find it's too time consuming, or I'm not feeling that I'm improving, or I have anything to say, I might give it up and put my brand new camera on eBay or somewhere else to sell it, but we'll see. I'm going to go with the flow for the moment, and in the meantime I'm going to wish you all a very happy Christmas and hopefully a peaceful and prosperous New Year. Mind yourselves now and take care. Bye bye.